Okay, so now let us get the equation of the hyperbola given the following conditions. So number one, centered at the origin with foci at 0, 5 and 0, -5 and vertices 0, 4 and 0, -4. Okay, so then we have number two, center at 0, 0. The transverse axis is along the x-axis. Okay, F. Okay, so the focus is 8, 0 and the vertex is 4, 0. Number 3, focus at 9, 3 and BB prime is 9, -5 and 9, +1. So number 4, the center is 1, 1. Okay, the vertices is 1, 5 and its conjugate axis is 6 units. So number 5, the center is 2, 4. BB prime, the vertices is 2, +, -3, 4 and FF prime is 2, +, -4, 4. Okay, so from here, so let us get the equation of the hyperbola. Okay, so for the first part is centered at the origin. So from here, if the center is at the origin, so we can say that the center is at 0, 0. Okay, the origin with foci. Okay, so the FF prime is 0, 5 and we have 0, -5. The vertices, which is the BB prime, we have 0, 4 and 0, -4. Actually, with the given properties, we can actually get the equation of the hyperbola. Okay, so first, let us graph para makita natin kung saan ba parallel ang ating transverse axis at alam natin kung anong equation ang ating gagamitin. So the center is at 0, 0. So this is our center. The focus is at 0, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our F. And 0, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our F prime. Okay, the vertex is at 0, 4. So this is our vertex. And this is our vertex prime. 0, 4. So probably, okay, the graph of the hyperbola is like this. Okay, that means our transverse axis, this is our transverse axis. Our transverse axis is parallel to y-axis. So we can say that our t-axis is parallel to y-axis. Then we can have the equation y squared over a squared minus x squared over b squared equals 1. Why is it y squared and x squared? Because it is noted here that the center is at 0, 0. So we can say that this is our standard form. Okay, so our task is to find our a square and our b square. So from the given f prime, so this is what we call 2c. Okay, if our f prime 2c, so that means from here, from f to f prime, that is 5 units from the center and 5 units from the center. So we can say that this is 10 units. Tama? From the center to f, that is 5 units. From the center to f prime, that is also 5 units. Okay, so that's 5, 5 is 10. Divide both sides by 2. So our c is 5. Okay, so if that is 5, so from here, from the center to f, that is already 5. If that is 5, so we can say that our c square is equal to 25. Okay, and then we have the vertices. Okay, so our vertex is denoted by 2a. Okay, so from the center to V, that is 4. Okay, from the center to V, that is also 4. So 4 plus 4, so we can say that this is 8. Divide both sides by 2. Okay, so our A is equal to 4. Sorry. Okay, so we can say that our A is equal to positive 4. Okay, so we have A is equal to 4. Then we have a square is equal to 16. But take note that we have a square already, but we don't have yet b square. So from our formula, c square is equal to a square plus b square. Okay, so our c square is 25 is equal to our a square is 16 plus our b square. Sorry. Okay, so we have 25 minus 16, that is equal to b square. So 25 minus 16 is 9 equals okay, so kakaroon ng problema, bumabagal ang internet. Radiation open dot. Okay, 9 is equal to b square. Okay, so just substitute the value. So we have y square. Okay, y square. Ulitin ko nga, annotation tayo. Okay, so again, we have y squared all over. Our a squared is 16 minus x squared all over. Okay, b squared is 9 equals 1. So this is the equation of the hyperbola in standard form. So to get the general form, just get the common denominator. So that is equal to 16 times 9 is 144. Then 9 times y squared is 9y squared. That is minus 16 times x squared is 16 x squared equals 1. Okay, this is over 1, then cross multiply. That is 9y squared minus 16x squared, okay, is equal to 144 times 1 is 144. Then transpose this 144 on the other side. That will be 9y squared minus 16x squared minus 144 equals 0. So that is the general form of the equation. Okay, so that's how are you going to get the standard and the general form given these properties. Okay. Okay, next problem. Okay, so the next problem is, okay, so when the center is 0, 0, transverse axis is along the x-axis, okay, and our focus is 8, 0, and our vertex is 4, 0. So from here, we can actually get the equation of the hyperbola. Okay, so the transverse axis is along the x-axis. So that means our t-axis or transverse axis is parallel, okay, to the x-axis. So we can have the equation x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 1. Okay, so bakit ito ang ginamit natin? Still, the center is at 0, 0. Okay, so from F80, okay, as you can see, from the center to focus, shifted from 0, 0 to 80. So from the focus that is 80, we can say, okay, so that is from the center which is 0, 0. So ang nadagdag kay x, because that is parallel to the x-axis, ang nadagdag kay x, ang inad kay x ay 8. So we can say that c is equal to 8 units. So c squared is equal to 64. So the vertex, okay, so the vertex which is 4, 0, okay, that's coming from the center which is 0, 0. So inad kay x, okay, kasi siya parallel din kay x, so ang inad kay x is from 0, naging 4. So we can say a is equal to 4. Then a squared is equal to 16. Okay, still, ang kailangan natin ay a squared and b squared. So to get the b squared, so we have c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared natin is 64 equals 16 plus b squared. So we have 64 minus 16 is equal to b square. Okay, 64 minus 16, that is 44, 48. Okay, so that is 48 equals b square. So we have now the b square. Just substitute. So we have x squared. Okay, so we have x squared over our a square is 16 minus y square over our b square is 48 equals 1. So this is our equation in the standard form. If you want to get the general form, just multiply or get the common, okay, kuhanin na natin ang general form. Common denominator, okay, common to 16 and 48 is 48. Tama? Okay, 48 divided by 16 is 3 times x squared, that is 3x squared. Okay, so that is minus. 48 divided by 48 is 1 times y squared, that is y squared, and that is equal to 1. Okay, so pasensya na kayo yung sulat kasi kapag bumabagal ang internet, ganyan talaga ang sulat. Okay, so we have 3x squared. Titin ko na lang. Okay, so we have 3x squared, okay, minus y squared, that's over 1, cross multiply, is equal to, okay, bakit ito lang? Because that is 1. 1 times this quantity, this is 3x squared minus y squared equals 48 times 1, that is 48. Iliban mo lang tong 48 dun sa kabila, that is 3x squared minus y squared minus 48 equals 0. So this is now the general form. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so the next problem is, okay, focus at 9, 3, BB prime at 9, -5, and 9, 1. Okay, so wala tayong center. Okay, so as we can see, from the focus, which is 9, 3, and our B, which is 9, -5, and our B prime, which is 9, +1. So from here, makikita natin kung nasa ang center. Kasi kapag ginarap natin to, let's say for instance, okay, let's graph. Okay, so we have 9, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. So this is our focus. We have 9, -5. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 9, -5. That is our B. And we have 9, 1. 9, 1. This is our B prime. Okay, so alam na agad natin na kapag dinrawingan natin, okay, ng line, this is our transverse axis. Okay, ang transverse axis natin ay parallel kay y-axis. Okay, so therefore, we can say that t-axis is parallel to y-axis. Okay, the next information that we need to have is the center. So how are we going to get the center? We all know that the center is the midpoint of our vertices. Okay? So para makuha natin ang center, that is the midpoint of our vertices. So we have 9 plus 9 divided by 2. That's the formula for midpoint. We have -5 plus 1 divided by 2. So therefore, our center is at 9 plus 9 is 18 divided by 2 is 9, comma. We have -5 plus 1 is -4 over 2. So that is -2. So the center is at 9, -2. Okay? Now, if that is 9, -2, you can say that this is our center. Okay, so that's the center. So bali ang itsura ng ating graph, magiging ganyan ang graph natin. Yan. Okay? So kailangan nating makuha ngayon is yung ating a square at yung ating b square. Okay? So tignan ninyo, from the focus, which is 9, 3, okay, nanggaling siya from the center, which is 9, -, ano naman? Wait lang, delete ko lang. Hindi ko ma-delete. Okay na, ito lang gagamitin ko isa. Okay, which is 9, negative 2. Okay, 9 and 9. So since that is the t-axis is parallel to the y-axis, kaya yung y ang nilagyan, inadan. Okay, so from 3, or from negative 2, anong inad kay negative 2 kaya siya naging positive 3 para makuha natin ang c? Okay, so si negative 2, pag nag-add ka ng 2, that will be 0. Plus 3, that will be 3. Ibig sabihin, from negative 2, nag-add siya ng 5. Okay, that's why c is equal to 5. Or bilangin mo, from here, from the center papunta kay focus. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ulit, palitan natin ang kulay. Okay, so from here, from the center, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the center to focus is 5 units. Okay, so para makuha mo yung kanyang c-square, that is equal to 25. So meron ka ng information na isa, meron ka ng c-square. Then we also have the vertex. Okay, so the vertex from center to vertex. So bilangin din natin, from center to vertex. Okay, so ito yung nandito kay 2. So we have 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that means, okay, from our vertex, which is 9, negative 5, okay, nanggaling siya kay center, which is 9, negative 2. So anong inad natin kay negative 2 na naging negative 5? That is negative 3. But we don't have negative length. So we can say that our A is positive 3. Okay, so 3 units from the center. Okay, that's 3 units. So our A square here is equal to 9. So para makuha natin ang B square, that is C square equals A square plus B square. So that is 25 equals, our A square is 9 plus B square. So 25 minus 9 equals B square. Then therefore, B square is equal to 16. Okay, so we can now have our standard form. Since that is the t-axis is parallel to y, we can have y minus k square over a square minus x minus h square over b square is equal to 1. Okay, so we have y minus k from our center. Where's our center? This one. Our k is negative 2. That will become positive 2 square. All over a square is 9. Minus, we have x minus h. So that is minus h, which is 9, and that's square. All over b square is 16 equals 1. Okay, so if you want to get, this is the general form already. Sorry, this is the standard form already. If you want to get the general form, okay, so tanggalin natin to. Okay. Okay, so tanggalin natin to. Okay, so yan. Okay, so kuhanin natin ang kanyang general form. Okay, so we have, if we have here y plus 2 squared over 9 minus x minus 9 squared over 16 equals 1. First, let us get the common difference. So 9 times 16, that's 144. Then 16 times y plus 2 square, that will become 16 plus y plus 2 square minus 9 times this quantity, this one. So we have 9 times x minus 9 square is equal to 1. This is over 1, then cross multiply. So that will be 16 times y plus 2 square minus 9 times x minus 9 square is equal to 144 times 1 is equal to 144. Before you distribute positive 16, okay, inside the parentheses, first you have to expand it. So that is 16 times y square plus 4y plus 4 minus 9 times x squared minus 18x plus 81 equals 144. And then we have 16 times y squared is 16y squared. 16 times 4y is 64y. 16 times 4 is 64. Okay, negative 9 times x squared, negative 9x squared. Negative 9 times negative 18, so that will become positive. So that is 2, 7, 162x. And then negative 9 times positive 81, that is negative, that's 9, 729. Sorry. Malit ng space. So negative 729, which is equal to 144. Okay, so the next thing that you have to do is to combine all terms. Combine like terms. Okay, so to combine like terms, so we have, so i-rewrite ulit natin. 16y squared plus 64y plus 64 minus 9x squared plus 162x minus 729 equals 144. Combining like terms, so we have 16y squared minus 9x squared plus 64y plus 162x. So we have 64 minus 729 equals 144. Okay, so if we have here plus 64 minus 729, so pag ipinasok mo yung 144, that will become negative 144 equals 0. Okay, so we have 16y squared minus 9x squared plus 64y plus 162x. Okay, so we have 64 minus 729 is 636. So 36 is 65, 665. That is negative 665 minus 144 equals 0. So we have 16y squared minus 9x squared plus 64y plus 162x. Negative 665, just add the number, then copy the sign. So we have 901,809 equals 0. So this is now our general form. Okay, of the equation of a hyperbola. Okay, next. Okay, so let's proceed to the next problem. Okay, so the center is 1, 1, the vertex is 1, 5, and its conjugate axis is 6. So ito, madali lang to. Okay, center is 1, 1. Okay, so i-graph natin para alam natin kung na kanino ang transverse axis, kung saan parallel. So ang center natin ay 1, 1. So this is our center. Vertex is 1, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our vertex. So probably, okay, pag ganito ang itsura ng ating graph. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang ating t-axis is parallel to y-axis. Okay, parallel kay y-axis, we can have to use y minus k square over a square minus x minus h square over v square equals 1. Okay, so next, from the center, okay, which is 1, 1, okay, to the vertex 1, 5. Okay, dito pa lang makikita na natin yung value ng A because we have here B. Okay, from 1, 1, since that is parallel to y-axis, kaya makikita nyo sa y nag-add. So from 1 naging 5. Ilan ang idinagdag? Okay, so that means 4. Okay, 1 plus 4 is 5. Kaya nakuha itong vertex ng 1, 5. So therefore, A squared is equal to 16. Okay, we have conjugate axis, which is 6. Okay, pag sinabi natin conjugate axis, that is, okay, BB prime, which is equal to 2B. So, ang conjugate axis daw natin ay may length na 6, which is equal to 2B. So, divide both sides by 2. So, what is our B? Our B is 3. So, B squared is equal to 9. Okay, so then, where is our center? The center is at 1, 1. So, ito lang ang tatlong to ang kailangan natin para makuha natin ang standard and general form. So, we have y minus k, which is 1, square over a square is 16, minus x minus h, which is 1 square, all over b square is 9, equals 1. So, this is the standard form. To get the general form, expand. Okay, so let's have, okay, so get the common denominator, that's 16 times 9 is 144. Then 9 times this quantity, so that is 9 times y minus 1 square, we have minus. So 16 times this quantity, 16 times x minus 1 square, that is equal to 1. This is over 1. That cross multiply, 9 times y minus 1 square minus 16 times x minus 1 square is equal to 144. Okay, before you distribute 9 inside the parentheses, you have to expand it first. So that is 9 times y square minus 2y plus 1 minus 16 times x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 144. Okay, so we have 9y squared minus 18y plus 9 minus 16x squared plus 32x minus 16 equals 144. Combining like terms, so we have 9y squared minus 16x squared minus 18y plus 32x. Okay, and then 9 minus 16, that is negative 7, equals 144. And then we have 9y squared minus 16x squared minus 18y, okay, plus 32x minus 7. So this 144, ipapasok mo sa loob, negative 144 equals 0. So to get the general form, we have 9y squared minus 16x squared minus 18y plus 32x minus 144 plus 7 is negative 7 minus 144 is negative 151 equals 0. So this is our general form. Okay, so those are some of the examples, okay? Examples of finding the equation. Okay, that's the reverse process, the vice versa of our properties. So at first, we get the properties of the hyperbola when the given is equation. And then this one, the given is the properties and we need to get its equation. Okay, so last example. Okay, so for our last example, we have this one. Okay, so our center is at 2, 4. Okay, so i-graph natin para kita natin kung nasa ng transverse axis. So center is at 2, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the center. Next is our vertices. Okay, so as you can see, Okay, so as you can see, that is 2, okay, and this is 4. So that's for the center. So what we have added here is 3. So that means our A is equal to positive, negative 3. Tama? So saan tayo nag-add? Kay X. So we can say that the transverse axis is parallel to x-axis. O sige, ipakita din natin. What is 2 plus 3? 5. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay, so this is our vertex. So kapag kinonect mo dito, okay, so ating transverse axis ay parallel kay x-axis. So papunta dito ang ating graph ng ating um, hyperbola. Okay, so nag-add tayo dito ng positive, negative 3, 2 plus negative 3, 4. So alam natin na itong 2 at saka itong 4 ay galing dito kay center. Okay, so our A is positive, negative 3, or our A square is equal to 9. Okay, FF prime. So this is our 2 and this is our 4, and then we have added here is 4. So we can say that our C is positive, negative 4. Okay, again, our C is positive, negative 4. So our C square will be 16. So meron tayong A square, meron tayong C square. So we need to get the B square. So C square is equal to A square plus B square. So C square is 16 equals our A square is 9 plus B square. So 16 minus 9 equals B square, and that will be 7 equals B square. So meron tayong B square. Okay, since that is parallel to the x-axis, we can say that our equation will be x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Okay, so meron tayong a squared, meron tayong b squared, meron tayong center. So we can have the standard form at x minus h, which is 2 squared all over a squared, which is 9, minus our y minus k, our k is 4 square all over, our b square is 7 equals 1. So this is our standard form. To get the general form, okay, again, in order for us to get the general form, we need, okay, to get the common denominator. So 9 times 7, that is 63. Then cross multiply. So 7 times this quantity, that is 7 times x minus 2 square. That is negative. 9 times this quantity is 9 times y minus 4 squared. That is equal to 1. This is over 1. Then cross multiply. So we have 7 times x minus 2 squared minus 9 times y minus 4 squared equals 63 times 1. That is 63. Okay, so before you, okay, again, before you distribute 7 inside the parentheses, just expand first the binomial. So we have 7 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 9 times y squared minus 8y plus 16 equals 63. And then, saka ka mga magdi-distribute. 7 times x squared is 7x squared. That is 7 times negative 4x, negative 28x. 7 times 4 is 28. Negative 9 times y squared, negative y squared, negative 9 times 8. Negative 8 is positive 72y. Negative 9 times positive 16 is negative 144 equals 63. Combining like terms, so we have 7x squared minus 9y squared minus 28x, okay, plus 72y. We have here 28, and then we have negative 144. Okay, so 28 minus 144 is negative 116. Tama? Negative 116. So 16, 40, 30, 44. Okay, and then this 63, ipapasok mo sa loob, that's positive, magiging negative 63 equals 0. So the final answer will be 7x squared minus 9y squared minus 28x plus 72y. Okay, so this is the same negative. So negative 116 minus 63 is negative 179 equals 0. Okay, so this is our general form. Okay, okay, so madali lamang ang hyperbola, and as you can see, there is a process. There is a step-by-step procedure on how are you going to get the equation of the hyperbola. The first thing that you have to bear in your mind is to get the center, a square, and b square. Those are the important and essential properties that you should have in order for you to arrive the standard form and the general form of the equation of the hyperbola. So if the center is not there, okay, so materialize and maximize the given properties para mapalabas nyo kung ano yung mga essential at maaari at nararapat ninyong gamitin para makuha nyo ang equation ng parabola, ng hyperbola. Okay, so we are done with finding the properties and finding the equations of the hyperbola. So I hope matutunan nyo yung video na to, balik-balikan ninyo, tingnan ninyo kung alin at saan kayo nahihirapan. And if you have your questions, do not hesitate or do not be hesitant. Okay, don't hesitate to ask questions, PM or private message, or directly go to the GC, the group chat, if you have queries or inquiries about these examples or in some clarifications, okay, about our examples. So I hope you learned. Okay, so go to your modules and answer some of the problems there and then test your understanding about our topic. Okay, so kapag nasagutan niyo yan, okay, that means you learned a lot in our discussion. Thank you so much and God bless you.